Hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 15 radio stations and 7 Nebraska TV stations.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Our own little Ted Turner.
He is. You can start buying ranch land in Nebraska too.
Dayton. I guess he's like can't date movie stars.
Good evening. Welcome to this November 1st, 2021 meeting of the Norfolk City Council. We'll call the meeting to order and call your attention to the Open Meetings Act posted here in the council chambers. If you'd now please join me in rising for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. Okay, roll call, please.
Granquist.
Here.
Arns.
Here.
Merrill.
Here.
McCarthy.
Here.
Murin.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Clausen.
Here.
Hildebrand.
Here.
All right, with that, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion second. If no discussion, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Would then look for a motion to approve the full agenda.
So moved.
Motion second. If no discussion, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Right, that takes us to the special presentations portion of the council agenda. Item number 20 is a proclamation for November 2021 as Read Aloud to a Child Month. And the proclamation reads as such: whereas literacy is the fundamental building block of all learning and is essential to the growth and success of every child in our city. And whereas reading to children enlarges their vocabulary and enhances their listening skills, thereby fostering intellectual growth and a more positive attitude toward reading. And reading to a child is a simple and priceless act that benefits both adult and child, positively contributing to family literacy and strengthening the bond between a parent and child. And when parents assume the responsibility for children's literacy, making a commitment to reading for 20 minutes a day, children become more healthy, resilient, and inquisitive. And Read Aloud to your child for 20 minutes a day is a nationally recognized program that has been in existence for more than 25 years. And Read Aloud Norfolk, the Norfolk Public Library, Norfolk area schools, and other organizations representing parents, teachers, librarians, and concerned citizens advocate for reading aloud to children because it fosters healthy interaction between adults and children. And reading aloud to children will enhance family literacy and the well-being of young people throughout our city. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Josh Moaning, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska, by the power vested in me, do hereby proclaim November 2021 as Read Aloud to a Child Month in the City of Norfolk and the surrounding area, and encourage all parents, teachers, librarians, and other caring adults to read aloud to a child every day. I think we have a few folks here tonight to receive the proclamation, so let's do that and get a photo. All right, how about we get a photo and then I'll have you all introduce yourselves, okay?
You're going to go over here and you're going to stand by the mirror.
Stand with me.
They
Don't
brought
be
some of
scared.
their favorite books with them.
Good, good. Very good. All right.
What's going on, baby?
You want to hold on to this? You want to help me hold this? You
You want to help me hold it?
want to help me hold it?
Everybody looking this way.
All right, thank you. Okay, Jessica, do you want to introduce everybody?
Well, do you want to stay up here? We have some members from Read Aloud Norfolk here. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
Lisa Kentner, Linda Hammond, and Joe Roberts.
And then some of our families from Primetime Reading, which is sponsored by Read Aloud Norfolk and Humanities Nebraska.
We're the Burback family, and I've got Annie, Corey, Ben, and Debbie, and we've been doing this now for 15 years. Wow. My oldest is in Creighton University right now.
Yeah, we are the Smith family. This is Lily, I'm Nikki, and we've been doing this since she's in kindergarten, and she's a third grader.
Thanks so much. Thank you for coming out.
Can you tell us what books you're reading right now? Can you get started?
Abraham Lincoln from Wrestler. And that book actually came from the Primetime program as well, because they get books at the end of the program.
How about you?
I'm reading Dogman 4-wheel ball roll.
My son loves all the dogs.
Which one do you have?
I don't know.
Room on the Room? Yep. It's an activity book that he got from Primetime Reading. What book did you bring? Are you going to be super shy?
That's all right.
It's one of our family favorites. It's Punchinello. Or You Are Special.
Oh, okay.
We call it Punchinello.
All the wrong questions.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you all for being here, and thank you for participating in Read Aloud.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 21 is a proclamation for November 1st, 2021 as Extra Mile Day, and the proclamation reads as such: whereas the city of Norfolk, Nebraska is a community that acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. And the city of Norfolk is a community that encourages citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. And the city of Norfolk is a community that chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within the community who go the extra mile in order to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And the city of Norfolk acknowledges the mission of the Extra Mile America Foundation to create 500 extra mile cities and states in America, and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2021. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Josh Moaning, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2021 as Extra Mile Day in the City of Norfolk, and urge each individual in our community to take time on this day to not only go the extra mile in his or her own life, but to also acknowledge all those who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, community, country, or world a better place. Is there anyone here tonight to receive the proclamation? It looks like not. So we will move on to item number 22, which is under public hearings and related action. I will now open this public hearing for the mayor and city council to sit as a board of equalization to levy a special assessment against property located at 125 Jefferson Avenue for demolition of a structure. So in order to do that, I would hear a motion to adjourn as mayor and council and to convene as the board of equalization.
I'll make the motion.
Motion and second. If no discussion, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Okay, with that, we will open the public hearing now, and Brianna would look for some background on this, please.
Yep, thank you. So the structure located at 125 Jefferson Avenue was condemned in late 2020 and then later demolished earlier this year at a total cost of $7,412.28. The city billed the property owner for the cost of the demolition, and as of today, no payment has been received. Following adoption of the resolution to levy the special assessment, a lien is filed against the property and interest accrues in the same manner as other special assessments. And this is the usual and customary way the city of Norfolk uses to assure payment of these costs.
Okay, thank you, Brianna. Any questions? This is a public hearing, so anyone wishing to make comment can do so now. Hearing and seeing no one, move to close the hearing, and I would look for a motion to adjourn as the Board of Equalization and reconvene as mayor and council.
So moved. Second.
Motion second. If no discussion, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Moves us to item number 23. I would look for a motion to consider resolution number 2021-47, levying a special assessment in the amount of $7,412.28 on the property at 125 Jefferson Avenue, Norfolk, Nebraska, for demolition of a structure.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for consideration of resolution number 2021-47. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on this, council? Questions or comments? Hearing none, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, resolution 2021-47 is adopted.
Okay, that moves us along to our regular agenda and item number 24. Would entertain a motion to consider approval of change order number 1F with Retgens Construction Incorporated for South Highway 81 Water Main Extension District number 124 project, resulting in a net decrease of $33,437.55.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for consideration of approval of change order number 1F. Second.
Motion is second, and for some background on this, Steve Ramus, our Public Works Director, please.
Mayor and Council, this is the change order 1F for final. The work on that project is complete, so this would be the final change order to balance out constructed quantities with the contract value. As you can see, it's a decrease of $33,437.55, bringing the final contract to $661,849.75. Attached there too is the change order itself. The change order, this is a unit price contract, so we have about 53 bid items on the project. This is, again, we measure each quantity individually throughout the project and pay based on actual installed quantities. You'll see some large deducts, specifically with relation to 12-inch ductile iron water main bedded versus native bedding. It was a $7,000 savings for us. 8-inch directional drill water main, that was a $24,000 savings. As you go down through there, you'll see other items related either to the pipe itself. Dewatering was dewatering was a $5,600 savings. Trench stabilization, $5,000 savings. So as we work through the project, and either we don't have to implement something like dewatering or trench stabilization, obviously we don't pay for it. So the change order, again, is just balancing out as-built quantity with the final pay app for construction. We did have some increases as well in there. You'll see where we may have backed off on a certain type of pipe, and then maybe right below that we increased another type of pipe. So we certainly are very cognizant when we're out there doing these projects of cost and cost savings, and we continue to look at the project during construction and try and bring back savings to the city. So if you have any specific questions, I could answer them, or I could bring Dennis Watts up as well to answer.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions, council? Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Item 25 would look for a motion to consider approval of change order number 1 with Constructors Incorporated for the Asphaltic Overlays 2021 project, resulting in a net decrease of $6,095.64.
We'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion second. And Steve, once again, some background on this, please.
Mayor, Council, this is our 2021 asphalt overlay project that is substantially complete. This is not a final change order. It is a progress change order number 1. The only remaining work on the project will be the thermoplastic pavement markings next spring. It was a supply chain issue on the pavement. It wasn't a contractor issue. So this is balancing out the asphalt work. As you can see, it is a little bit of a decrease. We tried to bring it in as close to project quantity as we could. When you're laying down 1.5 inches to 2 inches, a small increase in that depth over a large area can add up to a lot, either positively or negatively. So bringing it in at about $6,000 net decrease over the total tonnage is pretty good in terms of the project management on this. Can I answer any questions you have related to the change order or the project?
Just on the projects, Steve, when do you expect all the striping to be done, or has it all been? Okay.
No, I don't know that we will. We're obviously watching weather. I mean, we still need to get striping through downtown in terms of pavement, the parking stalls, that type of stuff. I think we're still going to try and get the mid-block crossings painted. We need about a 4-hour weather window to get that down and get it tacked enough that it doesn't track when cars drive over it. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, and we'll get it in as temperature allows. If we start to see a point where we may not just get it in, we'll have to make a decision on whether we get a little bit in and just put up with the tracking. But I think my desire right now is to wait and see if we can't get the weather. We think we're going to get the weather to get the downtown stripes in.
What temperature do you need?
Typically, we like 40 degrees and higher.
Okay.
Some of the stuff, I don't know that we'll get arrows in on Highway 81. Probably prefer to wait until we get the thermoplastic in next spring on that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Steve. A big project and good to see decreases in change orders. If no further discussion, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Item 26, for a motion to consider approval to award an engineering contract to JEO Consulting Group Incorporated for Norfolk Embedded Engineering Consultant Services for an hourly rate of $120 an hour.
I'll make a motion for consideration of approval.
Second.
Motion and second. And once again, Steve, some background on this, please.
Mayor and Council, it's no secret, I guess, that we've been struggling with staff on the engineering side. We're still short 2 positions in the engineering department. We have a lot of stuff going on. Some big projects getting ready to go out the window or out the door for bids. And we have a lot of activity going on right now for future projects. So we went out, structured an RFP, went out. We received 2 respondents back to that, one from JEO Engineering and one from Eisenbron. I did interview both individuals that were proposed. JEO was substantially less cost to us. They have committed to have this person here through February, through January, and we think we can have them through February. But that's going to allow us to focus on 4 specific things. We have a lot going on and continuing to look at and adjust our standards, our specifications, details, and city code around our streets and street construction. And there will be some very specific things brought forward during the time this individual's here. We also have our 21, 22, 22, 23 street maintenance by contract work, and we want to work with our new streets manager and start to structure some contract work under that. We'll also be looking at future street repairs in terms of our mill and overlay program, concrete repairs, as well as some preventative maintenance activity. And so, again, that's a third priority. And a fourth priority, if they have time, is to look at our sidewalk trail priorities. We have we'd like to talk about these 10 priority segments of trail / sidewalk within the community, that if we could get those in would help provide connectivity to our trail system and our sidewalk system. And so we'd like to get some structure around that and maybe look at going out for a project on that.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Any questions?
I do have one. So is the person hired, are they gonna be working a full-time for the city, or will they be helping? In other words, an 8-hour day,
They would be here 8 hours a day.
and are they gonna be housed here?
They have committed to move to Norfolk as part of expansion of that company's office. And so they are here currently, have transitioned to Norfolk. And so we are not paying anything other than their hourly rate.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay. Hearing none, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Item 27, look for a motion to consider approval of amendment number 2 to the agreement for engineering services between the City of Norfolk and Black and Veatch Corporation for water system planning services for an amount not to exceed $176,138.
So moved.
Motion second. For some background on this, our water system director, Dennis Watts.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll go ahead and talk just briefly about the original amendment was in March 2018, and this was for Black Beach to design the water tower and the booster station addition there. And we had the next amendment, number 1, and that was on 11/14 of 2019, and that was to basically conduct a full-blown water master plan. One of the items in there was to look at additional water. We currently can produce about 11.5 million gallons per day, and this would jump it up to 14.5, which is our estimated 2040 usage, which would allow for some industry things like that also. Anyway, so this one here is, as I said, it's 176,138. That would be for the basically all the preliminary design of the well 14. And where we're looking at is we have an irrigated corridor kind of to the southeast, and looking at using that property. So we'll be doing some drilling, 4 monitoring wells, a test well, look at all the gravels, things like that. And this would be for a collector well, which is some of you, the older timers will remember we did a well 13 in 2004, and that's worked out extraordinarily well for us. That puts out basically about 3,000 gallon and 4.3 million gallon a day, and we're looking at another well like that. I know it's quite a bit of money, but one thing that we do in Norfolk, we have a well from 1929 we run yet, so the well's got to be designed very good on the front end, and that's what this is for this contract. That's it, kind of a brief talk. Any questions?
Dennis, I think it makes sense, given projections for long-term growth for the city. I know I get questions every so often about water quality issues. Can you speak to a little bit about water quality from existing wells and the area of this proposed new well, just in terms of how we compare according to state standards?
Yes, so all public water systems are governed by EPA, and they set maximum contaminant levels. We are very good on all levels, with the exception of ours. I think we're a little bit on the high side. One that's talked about a lot is nitrates. That is a farming community. Basically, if you look at a lot of Nebraska, and actually the entire Midwest, nitrates is a huge issue. Everybody talks about that one. We are extremely low on the EPA MCL maximum contaminant level is 10. about 0.29, 0.33, somewhere in there. So overall, the water quality is, we meet or exceed all levels. Our highest one, our closest one is arsenic. That is 10 parts, and we end up about 8 there. So we're a little bit on the high side, but again, we're still well underneath the MCL.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Dennis?
Dennis, just for the public's knowledge, tell us how you treat that arsenic.
The arsenic?
Yeah.
What we would do, so we have 200 treatment plants, and they're basically iron and manganese removal plants. To treat arsenic, there's different ways to treat it. What we would do in Norfolk is we would actually add iron to it, and the arsenic would attach to the iron, and then the filter would filter it out. So that is how in Norfolk we would probably treat the removal of arsenic. There's different ways with that. In Norfolk's case, since we do have water treatment plants, that would be the optimum way to reduce the arsenic.
And then where does it leave that arsenic level then after that happens?
We would probably just make sure we're underneath, say, because you gotta be cautious, because if you remove a lot, you're gonna have a heavy-duty stream of arsenic. So we want to make sure we do not exceed the 10 parts MCL. If we start to see where we, say maybe 9.5, something like that, then we'd start looking very strong, and we'd probably get it back down to that 8, 8.5.
Okay, so the 8 is after you've treated it?
Yes.
Okay,
That is
very good.
correct.
All right, thank you.
And it was actually 50 parts up until about, I think it was about 2008 or 9, and then they dropped it from 50 to 10. So, any other questions?
All right, thank you, Dennis. Any other discussion, council? Hearing none, please vote.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Okay, and since we have no new info related to a closed session, we will forego the closed session portion of the council agenda, and that will bring us to conclusion of this Norfolk City Council meeting. We are adjourned.